The vast grasslands, dense forests, and harsh deserts of Africa are not just habitats, but a world full of secrets waiting to be discovered. In this vast space, where the sky and the earth seem to merge, wild animals live a challenging and breathtaking life. Lions stalk the shadows, leopards lurk among the trees, while zebras, buffalo, and elephants roam the endless grasslands. The scene is symbolic of life and death, strength and weakness, all intertwined in an endless chain of wildlife. Come to Kilimanjaro, a majestic mountain where every aspect of nature is magnificent and beautiful. This mountain is not just a giant rock, but a symbol of life, where ecosystems from grasslands to rainforests, from plateaus to highlands on the mountaintop, all exist in a harmonious and challenging way. This land is covered with lush vegetation, green grasslands, but also cold stone walls and muddy rivers. Running along the mountainside, a journey full of hardships and challenges is taking place. The wild animals here not only survive in this environment, but they are also real warriors, fighting for survival every day. In the rainforest, baboons, olive ring-tailed monkeys, and other animals fight for every piece of land and every drop of water. From the mountaintops, griffon vultures flap their wings, surveying the landscape below, where life and death are intertwined. Nature's abundance is not always a blessing, but sometimes it is a challenge that animals face every day. On the summit of Kilimanjaro, where the air is thin and cold winds blow through the crevices, no living thing can survive easily. The peak, which rises to 5,891 meters, stands tall, like a giant protecting the earth. Here, the climate is cold and harsh, but life still exists in the small bushs, in the herds of tiger antelope that roam the wilderness, and in the monkeys that live in the high branches. The majestic eagles always soar high in the sky, symbolizing strength and freedom. But behind that beauty is the fierce battle of animals for survival. Each location on Kilimanjaro presents its own unique challenges, and each animal has adapted to life in this extremely harsh environment. The lush green grasslands of Kilimanjaro are clearly visible from the dense forests below, but life here is not easy. It is especially on the higher slopes, where the cold air can be inhospitable to creatures, that most wildlife is subject to the laws of life and death. Coming to the grasslands, which are the territory of lions, leopards, and other predators, life still goes on with its own rules. Animals such as buffalo, giraffes, zebras, are all attractive prey. But they do not easily become prey, because they always have excellent survival skills. However, their lives are not simple when facing predators that are always lurking every hour, every minute. Lions, leopards, and other predators are not only talented hunters, but they are also creatures that constantly struggle with nature to survive. When a prey accidentally falls into the sights of predators, it will have no chance to escape. From the agile lionesses to the leopards lurking in the dark, they are all very patient. After a long time of tracking, they will attack. With their speed and strength, they will catch the prey, not giving it a chance to fight back. This is how predators dominate and assert their power in this wild world. While predators are constantly fighting to assert their position, life is never quiet. Leopards, lions, or hyenas, they always face challenges from other predators and sometimes from their own kind. In the dense forest areas at the foot of the mountain, animals such as monkeys, deer, and wild boars also find a way to survive. Although there is not as fierce hunting as in the grasslands, the threat of predators is still present. Leopards, wolves, and even hyenas are always lurking, looking for an opportunity to attack. Meanwhile, animals like baboons and macaques have to find ways to hide and live with caution every day. One of the most remarkable sights is the interaction between wild animals and their environment. This interaction is not just a fight for survival, but also a part of the natural cycle. With each change of season, from the rainy season to the dry season, however, life is not simply a hunt between the strong and the weak. It is also a hidden war for territory. Each animal species fiercely defends its territory. Lionesses, once they have conquered a territory, will not easily accept the intrusion of any other male lion. Similarly, leopards will not allow others to invade their territory. And it is a constant battle between wild creatures where only the strongest and most skillful can survive. Finally, as the sun begins to fade and the sky is enveloped in the cold darkness of night, the wildlife around Kilimanjaro continues on. Each animal continues its own journey, where every creature must obey the harsh laws of nature. And so life continues in a wild world that is as brutal as it is magical. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight began to penetrate the mist, the wildlife around Kilimanjaro began a new cycle. Predators awoke from their naps and began their journeys in search of food. Male lions, with their shiny golden fur and sharp eyes, roamed their territory, occasionally stopping to mark a spot to make their presence known. Leopards, with their great agility and hunting skills, start their activities in silence. They climb high trees, watching the movements of antelopes or monkeys. Their mobility makes it easy for them to attack any prey without attracting attention. Leopards hunting is very different from lions or tigers. They mostly hunt alone and do not make much noise. Antelopes, giraffes, and zebras, although not predators, are still on the alert. Any unusual noise or movement in their field of vision can startle them. As the dry season approaches, water becomes an extremely precious resource. Animals will seek to move to water sources to drink, and this is also when hunting becomes more intense. Although life on Kilimanjaro is harsh, that is its beauty. A place where every creature has a role to play, and life exists through the interaction between species and nature. The hunts, the migrations, and the changing seasons will continue, creating an eternal rhythm of life and death. All of it carries a profound message of resilience, the power of nature, and the survival of life in a wild world. The landscape around Kilimanjaro changes as the rainy season approaches. Humid air permeates the forest, allowing trees and plants to flourish. Antelopes, zebras, and giraffes sense the change in the air and begin to follow the small rivers, searching for fresh water. The lush green fields become home to many animals, especially small ones such as rodents, birds, and insects. However, the rainy season not only brings life but also many dangers. Predators, accustomed to the arid life of the dry season, have to adapt to this change. Lions and leopards, although their hunting instincts are still strong, the change in environment also forces them to seek new tactics. They have to move farther and sometimes have to sacrifice patience to hunt in more difficult conditions. These migrations are not just a journey of survival, but also part of the larger ecosystem. They help maintain biological balance as herbivores move from one place to another, creating opportunities for trees and other plants to thrive. Their arrival in a new land also helps disperse seeds, creating changes that are necessary for the development of the ecosystem.